Hey, so our next presenter is Ruben Nazario, and he's the Vice President, Product Lead of the Innovation Team at PRS in VIVO. He's been responsible for bringing the OmniPath solutions to market to help clients decode the complexity of the omnichannel path to purchase. If you would like to talk with Ruben about how behavioral design can help your products perform optimally online as well as brick and mortar, just reach out to him and he'll be happy to engage on that. So Ruben, I'll let you take it from there.
All right, great. Thanks, Chuck. Thanks, Laurel. Let me just share my screen. All right, let me just minimize this. All right, I think we're ready to go. All right, so hello, everyone, and thank you so much for attending today's Online and Digital Grocery Summit. My name is Ruben Nazario. I'm a VP and Innovation Product Lead with PRS and VIVO. I'm super excited to be here today to talk to you about achieving omnichannel success during these volatile times. In the next 20 minutes or so, I'll go over the keys for success, including some examples and case studies of behavioral research we have recently conducted. All right, let's begin. All right, there are two keys for omnichannel success. And to those who attended this conference last year, these might seem familiar to you. The first key is observing actual behavior in context, which can only be done through best-in-class tools. The second is by applying a behavioral lens, one that uses the principles of behavioral science as well as design thinking or jobs theory to identify consumers' jobs to be done. However, as has been discussed a lot throughout these presentations, 2020 has brought a lot of unexpected changes, which have accelerated many developments, tendencies, and trends. It has also been a year of great volatility in general, but also in terms of consumer behaviors. So while the keys for omnichannel success have not changed per se, they do need to be adapted. And before I go into the specifics, let me quickly recap some of the developments that we've seen this year. So let's start with acceleration. As we all know and have experienced, the pandemic has caused a major shift in our daily lives as well in how we shop, our shopping behavior. Adoption of e-commerce, online food orders, online grocery orders have all skyrocketed. We've heard that Walmart reported that their online orders grew by 97% in Q2. So to illustrate just how far we've come in 2020, let's take a look at an example I showed in last year's conference. It was an example about the Chinese supermarket, Hema or Fresh Hippo. So to remind you, and for those who haven't seen this, the store is a distribution center, a restaurant, and an advanced tech-powered retail experience where you can shop for anything from live king crabs to everyday CPG items. Everything you buy from Fresh Hippo can be delivered to your home within 30 minutes. Shopping is done through an app, which also provides more information about products like source of origin information, deals and coupons. And shoppers check out by scanning their phones. Now, when I mentioned this last year, it sounded super futuristic here in the US, just a year ago. But the reality is that today we're not that far off. So take mobile payments, which have surged this year. Whereas last year, this would have sounded far-fetched. Now all major retailers like Walmart, Kroger, Publix have their own apps with app payment methods that allow you to just scan your phone and go. So app usage has also grown significantly because of digital coupons. And in fact, redemptions of digital coupons surpassed paper coupon redemptions for the first time in the US in Q2. App payments are just the beginning though. Just Walk Out technology, which is a technology used at Amazon Go, which allows shoppers to just pick up stuff from the shelf and then just walk into the store when they're ready to go. It's a reality, and soon it'll be common across the US. Amazon Go already has over 25 stores. There's another version called Amazon Go Grocery. They also have fresh items. There are other examples too. There's a Sam's Club Now store in Texas, which is also digitally powered, uses Scan and Go technology. And there's a few startups like Grab and Go, iFi Nano Store, Trigo, Standard Cognition, all that are partnering with retailers and plan before the end of this year to open up a store either in the US or Europe with this technology. So these are just a few examples of a technology that's changing the way people shop, and that's what's what's happening right now, basically. So besides the acceleration we've experienced, we're living in an increasingly volatile world. It's very hard to predict what will come tomorrow. A volatile world means people's goals, needs, and expectations are ever changing. So as a brand or a retailer, there are several different innovations or initiatives that can solve for each one of these consumer considerations, whether it's convenience, safety, savings, finding what you need, eco-friendliness, etc. And with the tech acceleration, there are many innovations to explore and to continue to invest in. Things like micro-fulfillment, contactless shopping, just-to-walk-out technology that I just mentioned, subscription services, circular packaging, the enhanced pickup program that the previous presenter just talked about. So there's a lot of stuff, right? But in a world with so much volatility, it can be very hard to figure out where to begin, what to prioritize, and will it work or will it be successful? So besides the two keys for success that I mentioned earlier, which were observing behavior in context and applying a behavioral science lens, there is one more ingredient that's needed to succeed in these volatile times. And that ingredient is volatility. Sorry, agility, I messed that up, agility. Brands and retailers need an agile approach to quickly test, launch, learn, and iterate. In order to be successful at this, brands and retailers need agile tools that measure real consumer behavior in context and are quick and affordable to deploy, to allow them basically to iterate as needed. So the absolute best-in-class tools for doing this are big data, rich data, and 360 data. So I'm going to walk you through each one of these in more detail. Let's begin with big data. We all generate a ton of data every single day as we use our mobile phones, go on the internet, open up social media, etc., right? So big data allows us to just simply tap into that. It provides a 30,000-foot view, allowing us to understand what's going on at a high level, but without a lot of nuance or whys. It really is like looking out of a plane window on a clear day. You can see it, you can make sense of what's down there, very, very clearly, but not up closer with a lot of detail. Big data tools are great because they allow brands to get behavioral insights in a very quick and inexpensive way. Colgate used big data before launching their brand new smart electric toothbrush called Hum. So Hum is sold in various online retailers today. But before launching, they needed to know how to make a splash to drive awareness and also drive traffic to their site. So this is exactly where big data comes in. So our clickstream analytics were used to understand online behaviors related to the electric toothbrush path to purchase. So what people search, what websites and retailers people visited, what content they engage with, so on and so forth. We use this to identify a few key moments along the online path to purchase that Colgate could leverage to drive awareness and to drive traffic to its site. So big data was pulled in February, and by August, just a few months later, this product was launched and strategically supported. So for example, when you go out right now to Google and search best electric toothbrush, you'll come across a series of articles, including a very recent one by GQ recommending Hum. So articles by well-known sources are super influential. There's a human heuristic called the transmitter heuristic. Basically, it means we are hardwired to listen to and follow what experts tell us to. So we have an article from an expert or reliable source, and if it's written by a medical professional or some sort of expert, we're just more likely to follow that. So that's the type of strategy that Colgate is using to support its launch for Hum. And it's an example of how big data can be leveraged in a very quick and inexpensive way to drive results. So the second critical tool is rich data, also known as thick data or qualitative behavioral observations. So if big data is a 30,000-foot view, rich data is the complete opposite. It's a very close-up view revealing the nuances and whys of consumer behavior. So in today's digital age, rich data allows brands and retailers to experience the entire shopping journey from the point of view of the consumer through videos of each of the key touch points of that journey. So The pandemic has been a huge challenge for many different brands, and one specific category has been beverages, beverage companies, because of the decline in restaurant visits. So while there has been a big increase in online restaurant orders, people don't tend to order beverages online as frequently because they can just drink something they already have at their home, or because it's not an established habit. So this is where rich data can really help brands understand what are the drivers of buying beverages online. So I'm going to show you a narrated screen recording of a mother buying dinner on DoorDash for her family. So let's check it out, and then we'll break it down.
Going to order dinner from DoorDash. And tonight we're in the mood for some fast food. So we're going to do the habit. And we're going to start with kids' meal. A kid's hamburger. Cheese, yes. Lettuce, yes. No mustard. No tomato. What to drink, Pips?
All right. So we can quickly learn 3 things from the video. Number 1, this person is a loving mother, as we can clearly see from her phone background image. Number 2, her kid is top of mind throughout the ordering process. It's the first meal she selects. And number 3, her kid has very specific tastes, like all kids do, right? Which forces her to carefully select the right ingredients and condiments. So applying a behavioral design lens allows us to develop strategies for influencing choice. We saw how carefully she selected the condiments, right? So having the beverage option right after the condiments is a way to help nudge beverage selection. And if you're a brand, right, you want to be sure that you're either at the top of the list or the default choice in these options. So by having or by designing the right options, you can successfully influence choice or influence selection. And this is the beauty of rich data. You can see exactly the nuances of people's behaviors and think about strategies for influencing them. Now, our last agile and behavioral tool is 360 data, which quantifies behaviors of specific targets of people across channels, online and in-store. So with 360 data, brands and retailers can target specific cohorts, age groups, brand users, so on and so forth, specific groups. And we can quantify their attitudes and behaviors gathered via online passive tracking, store receipt purchase data, as well as through custom questions. So whereas big data provides a 30,000-foot view and rich data provides an up-close view, 360 data quantifies the path to purchase holistically for a specific group of people, and in just a few weeks. So for example, our 360 data is super agile. It doesn't require ongoing monitoring during a prolonged period of time. It's very fast. It can be done in a matter of weeks. So let me give you an example of a major baby food brand that used our 360 data to quantify the omnichannel path to purchase of parents and babies, and in order to identify opportunities to create a more effective omnichannel strategy, but also to drive sales across channels. So let's take a look at the weekly baby food in-store purchases illustrated by the dark blue line on this chart versus the online searches illustrated by the light blue line. So we learned that although baby food is commonly bought during the weekly grocery trip, online searches for baby food tend to spike a day or two before the grocery visit. So we also learned that the searches were taking place in the same retailer that people were going to later, right? So what we're learning is that people are basically conducting research, looking at prices, deals, the products before going to the store and buying the product. So this was an opportunity for this brand of baby food to work with its customer teams to develop a more consistent omnichannel strategy. Specifically, to explore showing similar online deals, highlighting the same type of products or coupons online as in the physical store. And because today people, when they go on these websites, they're logged on, it's really easy to know their location and to tailor all these coupons and deals based on their location. So this strategy not only creates a better and more seamless omnichannel experience, but it makes it more likely for people to notice these deals at the store. There's a lot of things competing for our attention in a cluttered shelf environment. We go into a retail store and there's thousands of different SKUs. So priming shoppers beforehand by exposing them to a deal online that they'll see again, when they go to the store, increases their likelihood of engagement. Another key learning was that most baby food purchases among this specific group of parents took place on Amazon, despite there being more searches on Walmart and Target. So this group of parents search on Walmart or Target when they plan to visit the stores for the weekly grocery trips. But they bought on Amazon because of a few key reasons. Well, number one, most of them have Prime accounts. But number two, when they went to Amazon, they were buying in bulk, so not just a few items, but larger sizes, more items. But most importantly, it's where they were going to for baby-focused shopping trips, where they weren't just buying baby food, they were buying other things like clothes, toys, diapers, along with baby food. So it was a baby-specific shopping mission. So this was another key opportunity for the brand to work with its non-Amazon customer teams to explore bundling and other techniques to drive purchases across the baby category, to essentially influence a baby-focused shopping trip online. The image on your screen is an example of something similar that another brand, Gerber, is doing right now on Walmart.com. It offers a $5 coupon, a $5 gift card with a Gerber baby food purchase. It's not quite bundling, but it is an incentive to hopefully get people to shop more and shop more within the baby category. So in closing, and to quickly recap, agile and behavioral tools like big data, rich data, and 360 data are critical for omnichannel success in today's volatile world. These tools, along with the application of behavioral science, can help brands and retailers quickly and easily get a pulse on consumer behaviors and determine where to focus their efforts, what to prioritize, and to help them learn, launch, and iterate on their paths to success. These tools that I've just discussed are actually part of our OmniPath service, which is an immersive behavioral consultancy providing bespoke solutions for omnichannel success. So OmniPath allows us to decode and influence the path to purchase, and it also allows us to test and validate activations such as displays, merchandising, and point of sale using an immersive and agile online approach. Thank you very much. I hope you found that meaningful and interesting. So I'll hand it back to Chuck and Laura for questions.
Thanks, Ruben. That was insightful. Great use of technology there. Laura, do you have any questions out there?
Yeah. Hi, Ruben. What activations, technologies, tactics would you recommend to get brands and products on the shopping list? Because we know the list is the most important place to be.
Yeah. So the question is, what
activation methods or technologies would you recommend to get on the list? Is there just like?
Well, it really depends. It'll depend by category. So I mean, it's super important to study and really get a grasp, understanding of the full path to purchase, because a category like something like, for example, electronics will be super different to something like a CPG. And then the context matters a lot, right? If it is a context, the Walmart.com versus another type of grocery context can differ. Some offer more coupons, a little bit more clutter, some don't. So it really depends situation, brand, and the context. But there are different levers that can be pulled that might be specific to that environment. So
why don't you build on the baby food example, right?
Yeah. Okay. So let's build on that. So when you're dealing, let's say people are searching for baby food, right, on a site like Walmart, right, and they're thinking about it as part of their weekly, grocery trip. When they go on these sites, they're likely to have, very, very low attention. They're likely browsing, searching a bunch of different things. So the most important thing that a brand can do, or even a retailer, is try to push or activations that can get their attention in a very, very quick way, because people are often scanning, just a couple of seconds. So whether it be something, placing something at the top of the page, whether it's an ad or highlighting a product in a certain different way, offering something that's different versus everything else in that context, that can drive attention. The other thing is with shoppers who regularly check their lists online, they tend to go to their past lists and shop from there. So that's another key area where you can influence, right? Hey, you bought this last time, why don't you consider buying this? There's actually a coupon for another baby food or something else. So there's a few different keys, but it does vary by category and by retailer.
Makes sense.
Great.
That's
Okay.
the only question I have. Chuck, anything you wanted to follow up on?
I think that's about it. It's actually a good stopping point. We are right at our lunch break. We'll just have a couple extra minutes for lunch. So y'all can go get a bite to eat, visit with sponsors, do some networking, and we're due back at a quarter after the hour, depending on which time zone you're in, and we will see you all then. Thank y'all.
Fantastic. Thank you.